Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial. This is actually our first tutorial for this event. And just like you already know, my name is Optimus Craft. And I am the most unconventional designer you find on the internet. No cap. Seriously, no cap, I mean it. Okay, so without wasting so much of your time, I want to show you something, the thing of which we're going to be creating today, and it's something really cool. I created it a while back, and I feel it's going to aid you in actually understanding what social media designs are and the basics of Canva too as well. So follow me, stick with me. It's going to be an enjoyable ride. Trust me. So this is what we're going to be doing today. How many of you remember Brother Shaggy? Yeah. I think his real name is Samuel Perry. I think he has a middle name, but I can't really remember the other one. But I just know him as Samuel Perry. I know him for this is iconic slogan, or should I say tag now? Oh yeah, hits me. Yeah, even use it as a logo. That's what his brand should I say brand icon? Yeah, that's his brand icon. Where he hits me, where he does that style with his hands and legs. So I used it to create this stuff for a brand I was working with a while back. And it says, "Oh yeah, hit me." Just as simple as that. "Oh yeah, hit me" for bulk crypto gift card deals because their target audience is mostly Nigerians, yeah. So they are not so concerned about the guys outside and all that. But even though the guys outside come, maybe they will do explanation. But they told me that their target audience is Nigerian. So everything is tailored to fit the Nigerian space. So the pidgin English, everything and all that. So we're going to attempt to create this. There are some things in this design that um I later figured out because I just came back to it as with regards to this tutorial. And I want us to try some other things rather than the things of which I did before. So, whilst this design was made, Canva hadn't really updated some of their software with regards to AI and all that. So, we're going to use AI now to amplify some things on this design. And we're going to introduce some new elements. So, let's see what we can do. It's going to be fun. I just want to see how we can make this. It could even be better than what we're actually looking at right now, but we'll try to stick to creating this. Okay, so let's go. So I'll hop into my new canvas, and if you've listened to me before now, you know that the first thing I like doing is to create my background. I like creating my background so that everything falls in and I know where everything is supposed to be. So I'll go over to this panel here. I didn't want to stress you by going to my projects this time, although each and every of the elements here will be made available to you because some of them are pro Canva features and many of you may not have your pro account just yet, especially if you are new to the Canva space and if you are new to the social media design space. So I will try to make this available, but with time, if you want to progress, you have to know that you must get Canva Pro if you want to um, actually be able to make splendid and captivating designs. It's not cost. Trust me, it's not. It's very, very cost friendly. Trust me when I say it's cost friendly. Okay, so bring in the background. This was what was actually used for the background. So I'll bring this in here and I want to take this up here and I want to scale it exactly to fit. Yeah, scale it to fit. I don't like attaching my background, like the background I bring in on top of the canvas. I don't like attaching it to the page. Some people do that, but I don't really like that. It makes me feel as though my design would have high quality though. But it would have high quality, but it's just a notion that I have. Yeah, everyone has their notions, right? Okay. So we're going to refer to the other design so that we can at least check where elements are and know where to put what. Okay, so the next thing we want to bring in now, if you watch this now, let me zoom this in, you see that there is a landscape behind Samuel Perry. So the landscape is an office landscape. So the whole design was meant to communicate something like an office, they are trading crypto gift cards, so to keep it professional and all that. So each of the elements that are here actually speaking something. So they were not just random elements. You get, this is one thing to note when you are designing. You don't just use random elements, not because it's fine, then you put it. No, 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 no. Every element has its purpose. Okay. So let's go. This is the landscape that was used. And this landscape is what we're actually going to work on. Now I'll show you something. Let's increase it to this side and increase this one also to this side. Yeah, and drag it down just a bit here. Okay, that's cool. And if you watch this now, you see that there are some edges which are visible, like here. Although some of the edges faded into the background because it's pure white at that area, like here faded in. But there are some edges that didn't fade in. So how do we fade that in? If you have a Canva Pro, you can search this up and just search for blur. Just search for blur. It's going to bring this thing up for you. Now, this is what it does. This is how you can blend images into background. Probably if you have a white background, this is how you can blend images into it. So you click on that. Now, watch what this is going to do. I'm going to rotate this, increase this. You see, it has blurred out that particular side. Now, you can duplicate it, take it over here. You see, it has blurred out the line there also. Now we can duplicate this, bring it down here. See, it has blurred out that particular part. Now duplicate it again, bring it over here. Now you see that our image has faded into the background perfectly. But I don't want every edge of this image to show, so that we can have little focus on the background and more focus on what is on top of the background. I believe you understand what I mean. Okay, so I'll take this here. See it, I'm blowing some aspect of it now. I'll take this here, place it there, duplicate it again, take it here. I just want to cause there to feel like I want this feel like the projection is coming from different angles, as if there are clouds over it. You get what I mean? So when a plane is inside of a cloud, you don't see it at every time. You see it at intervals. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to make here. So click on this again, duplicate it. Then let's bring it out here. Okay, drop that one there. Just check where works for what you are doing best. Check where works for what you are doing best, but make sure that you are able to blend in the background and it looks beautiful too as well while doing it. So there's one more place remaining. I don't want that area to show well, but I want the center to have a little focus on it. Okay, so let's duplicate this a bit. Okay, I think Tyler Perry will actually cover that part, but if it doesn't cover it, we'll come back to it. So successfully we've achieved this background, but there was something also over this background, and it's an overlay. Yeah, most times this is what I use as overlays for my design, this particular one, especially when I'm working with a purple background. So this is an overlay. I'll drag this over like this. When you go on Canva, if you have a Canva Pro, you can check for overlays and it will bring this up for you. So you can make this to fit the page exactly. Then if you want to check if it fits totally, so you don't have some edges that are out, just go to align. Okay, it's at the center. Now check if it's at the middle. Yeah, it's at the middle. Okay, now this stuff is too much. We want to reduce it. So let's take it down to, let's say, 25. Okay, let's say 35. 35 is cool. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's okay at 35. Okay. So, and something to note again was that the overlay was behind some of the blur. So we have to take it back so that the blur can actually cover some parts of the overlay so it doesn't look too much. Take it to back again, backward, 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 backward until you can't see it so much exactly. So I think we can increase the overlays transparency just a bit so that it protrudes out of the point where it's actually visible properly. Okay, I think 50 is okay for this. If it's too much, then we can go and change it. So in case you want to change something, maybe you are stuck, you feel, because when you touch something now on Canva, when you tap something like this, you can't really tap what's behind again, except when you go over to layers. So don't be alarmed, just go over to layers. If I want to touch where that overlay is, I just have to scroll down, look for the overlay, and this is the overlay, and I can edit it. So if I want the background, this is the background, I can edit it. If I want the landscape, that's the landscape, and I can edit it. Okay, I believe you get. I think we should reduce the transparency of this landscape to just a bit. Yeah, so it doesn't look too much. Let's leave it at 75. That's cool. And the next thing I want to bring in is our action figure. Did I just call him an action figure? Yeah, he is an action figure. If you watch his comedy, you know he's an action figure. So increase this up. Let's take Tyler to this side. Exactly. Let's increase Tyler a bit. And before, Tyler came out like so because of his arms. Originally, I would take him in like this. But because of his arms add the beauty, like the way his arm came out from the other side. You understand what I mean? This part, so it added beauty to the design. So I just have to position him in a way that his arms will show too as well. Not so much, but we still retain the beauty that I need. Okay, so let's see the size. Okay, I think he needs to come down, and our size is a little bit smaller than the original. So bring him down. Let's check. Okay. I think it's okay now. But what we have to do is nudge him inside a bit. So let's nudge him in a bit. Then bring him down also. And when that is done, if you've watched my videos before, you know how to create a shadow. But for the beginners and those just joining us, this is how we create shadows. You duplicate, in case you didn't see what I did. You click on this duplicate button, and it will bring out a second, should I call it a doppelganger now of what you have. Okay, so you go to your adjust here, and you go to brightness. Where's brightness? Yeah, oh, not tint, brightness, please. Brightness, bump down the brightness, go to contrast, increase the contrast, go to saturation, bump down the saturation. There are other ways to do this, like to make shadows on Canva, but I actually prefer this one, especially if I'm working with models. Yeah, so increase the sides just a bit so that the shadow increase. Okay, I think that one's too much. Yeah, just leave it like so that the shadow will not have a square by the extreme, like a rectangle by the extreme, because when there's a shadow, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's not talk too much. So go to effects, go to blur, go to whole image. So my intensity, I always leave it at 60. At 60, 60, 61, thereabout. So instead of wasting so much time, just type in 60, click next, changes to 60. Now these are to create a shadow of a model. Then this was what I was trying to tell you about, that if you drag this edge like so, watch, you see now it has created a square here, and we don't want that. Okay, so what we have to do now is go back. Now you see that the square was created on top of his hat because that's how the picture was actually taken. But notwithstanding, there's something we can do to actually curb that. Okay, so when you click on this, you now go to your position and click backward. Yeah, so the shadow falls behind Tyler. Then you bring down this shadow a bit because of that stuff on top of his head. Okay, so that it doesn't show. Bring down the shadow a bit, then nudge it to the right a bit. I want his back to pop out. I want him to look like 3D, like he's popping out of the background. So he's already popping out of the background now, but it's too much. So I have a rule. If you are working with light backgrounds, use light shadows. If you are working with dark backgrounds, use dark shadows. But it varies on the kind of design you use. But my one rule fits all. Light background, light shadows, dark background, dark shadows. So it works anytime. It works anytime. But you may decide to go unconventional and use dark shadows for light background, depending on what you're trying to communicate. But I tell you, one rule fits all. Light shadows, light background, dark shadows, dark background. So you bump this down. Now you see what has happened. Now he's popping out of the background and it's giving me this 3D human effect feel. So I want to leave that. Let's leave that at 30. Okay. What's happening, Tyler? Let's just go to layers. So in case you are finding it hard to touch something at the back, I already told you, go to layers and let's check this out. Let's keep it at 30, not 31. I always like my figures to be accurate, okay? So yeah, we've gotten Tyler and let's check. Yeah, very cool. Exactly. So the next thing I want to bring in now, let me teach you how I created this stuff under here. So we're going to come back to this so that we can actually get the colors that were used. And I'll show you one or two things. So we go over here. The first thing we want to do is go to our elements. Go to our elements here. Okay, this is already a square shape, but you can just go and type in square in the elements panel. Let me show you that in case maybe so that I don't skip any process. And someone says, I don't understand. So it's not like that when I actually opened my own. So if you go back, when you open your element, this is what you're actually going to see. So you're going to see shapes at this particular angle. So you can just click shapes here and it comes out. So I already have a shape there. There's no need of putting in another one again. So what I have to do is click on this one, delete it. Then this one, I'm going to drag it down like so. So I'm going to go in a bit, or instead of going in like that, just raise this up, drag this to the edge like so, drag this to the edge, bring it down. Always watch out for the proportions of these things so it doesn't look somehow. Bring it down, then go over to position, make sure that it's at the center, then drag this down like so. Exactly. So I will just go straight to using the gradient instead of trying to create the gradient again. Then I will show you the hex code for creating the gradient. Or better still, let me just create the gradient for those who do not have the luxury of knowing how to create a gradient before now. So this is actually the gradient that was used. Yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. This was actually the gradient that was used. And the gradient hex code for the first one is D9. So let's copy this. Copy. Now, one thing you don't want to do is click this back button here. Do not click this back button here. If you click this back button here, it will change back to one color, not a gradient. So if you want to work on a gradient, click outside of the box. Yes, then click this again, go back. Let's go take the other color. So let's click here and let's go take the second color. And this is the second color. And let's copy this. Then when you go down again, click outside of the box. Okay, so having done that, you click on this now, then you go over to your color. Let's change it to a random color so that we can start creating the gradient from there. So this is black. So when you click on the plus icon here, you see, you scroll down, just scroll down, you see solid color, you see gradient. So click on gradient, you now see gradient colors. So I will tell you why I say you should always click outside of the box here now. So if you click on this now, click here to add the hex code. Let's add the first hex code. So you click on this and it has added the first hex code. Now watch, if you click this, watch what will happen. You see it changes to one color, and that's not what we want. You see everything has changed to one color, solid color, no more gradients. Okay, so we have to go back to the gradient, click on this, click this one, go and add this one now, then go back, click down, then click outside of the canvas, click on the rectangle again, go to the color, then click on the plus icon again to edit the one we already have, then click on this, then click here, then add the second hex, which is this one. Now watch what happens. Click outside of the box. You see now it has gotten what we actually need. Okay, but this is not complete, because if you watch here now, you will see also that there's a line on top of it. So in order to achieve that line, what you have to do is click on this, then no, not that one, click on the rectangle, click outside, click on the rectangle, then go over to where you find style. Yes, you find style here, then you increase the border width to, let's say, 15. Yeah, 15. Then there's something, you see border color, we're going to come back to this. Then there's something I want you to do also. You are going to increase the corner rounding so that it has this rounded edge. We don't want this so much of a sharp edge, so you're going to increase the corner rounding to 30. Exactly 30. Then go over to the border color. So the border color is actually a gradient, so let's fix up the gradient. I've already told you how to achieve a gradient by now, so you should be able to implement this in the border color. So I'm just going to pick up the gradient that was actually used for this particular one, and I think the gradient should be this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's check on with the other one. Okay, instead of wasting so much time, let's click on it, check the particular gradient it is, and use it for that one. So you can just create the gradient. I'm going to show you the color code now. Let me show you the color code. So this is the color code. Oh, it wasn't even actually a gradient. It was just one color. Okay, it was just one color. So, and the color was D9. Let's go back here. Let's go look for it. So I click on this now, the border color, and I think it was, let's go up. I think it was this one. Yes. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. So you successfully created that. And if you look at this also, you find out that there are some lines above it, like this stuff right here now. Let me show you how that was created. So when you go over here, you go to your elements. It's simple to create. Go to your elements. Okay, there's a circle here. Just click on the circle here. And when the circle has come in, you click on it again. Yeah, click on the circle, go to color, and click on the plus icon to add a gradient. So you go over to gradient. But what we're going to be doing now is change all these colors. Instead of writing another hex code, what we want to do now is change these colors to white. Yeah. So we want perfect white. Yeah. And it has turned that first one to white. So we click out of the canvas again. Then we go back. Then what we want to do is click on this one, and instead of changing the color, drag this transparency button to this place, the lever, drag it to let it be transparent totally. Then click outside of the canvas again, click on this, then go over to the color once more. So you just have to work with the process. Then you click on the plus icon again, and you click, for you to achieve that thing, you now have to click this plus, then it will add another gradient again. Now you see the gradient has become more transparent. I'll show you what that means. It has actually given us two transparent gradients and one white gradient. Now you see it here. See it here, right? So we'll change it to this second one. This is the one we want to use, this second one. And when you've done that, you bring this down and you drag it down like so. let's check. I think our color gradient, the first color is having some kind of blue inside, if I'm not mistaken. So let's click on this. Okay, let's change it to all white. Yeah, so it's white now. So you drag this over like so. When you drag it like so, you rotate it like this. Then you place it here. Drag it a bit inside. Then what you want to do next is go to, let's check this stuff. I think the other gradient is not totally transparent. So let's check this out. Okay, it was on blue. Pardon, it was on blue. So you have to drag it to white, the transparent gradient. If not, it's going to affect what you actually see. No wonder I was actually seeing some bluish form of color. So let's change this one to perfect white. Exactly. So now what you want to do next is go over to your transparency and bump this down. Let it not be so visible. Let's say 25. Correct. Now you see the effect is actually coming out. So duplicate this, take it up, and bring it over here. Correct. Now we have that effect. Beautiful, sweet, and concise. Okay? Don't mind me, you're gonna hear a whole lot of English on this channel. So that's how that was created. So the next thing we want to do now, let's bring in the other stuff. So there was a coin hanging over Tyler. So let's place it. Place the coin here. Before I start the write-up, let me place the other elements. Then the logo of the brand. So this is the brand logo. This is the brand logo. Then yeah, reduce it to that size, place it here. Proportion in these things matters. So place it there. And the next thing we want to bring in, let's bring in the, okay, there was something that was projecting on top of Tyler, and it was this light. Let me go back so you see it. This particular light. So it gives this popping feel. It gives this popping feel to your design. So watch what it's gonna do now. If I increase this and place it here, you see it has brightened up my image and make it pop. You get right? So I'm gonna take this thing down so that it's not above the logo, so I can easily edit the logo. So I'll take the logo up, and I want to click on this again, duplicate it, and take it over here. I want the lights to come from the two angles so that it looks sharp and beautiful, but not so much. Don't go place the light on top him like this, so please, I beg you. Okay? So, and when you're working with this stuff, you see how it's working nice over a white background. So this white light will actually work nicer over a white background. You can actually use it on another color of background, but you will have to be mindful of how you use it there. Okay? So place it there like so. And let's bring in the other things. Okay, so we are not done with the background too. So the next one I want to bring is this gradient blur. Then increase it a bit, place it here. Yeah, then duplicate that, take it up and place it here. Let's rotate this a bit so that the other purple side comes out much more than the dark purple comes out much more than the lighter shade of purple. Okay, that's fine where it is right now. So what you want to do next is let's bring in all the other elements before we start adding the text. Okay, so this is money. Yeah, money, 200 naira notes in Nigeria currency. Okay, so we want to use these notes to our advantage now. I want to use this one in center. So what I'm going to do, initially before now, if I was going to do this, I would just begin to drag the edges like this, but that's not needed again because Canva has updated their software. So what I have to do is go to Magic Studio. Yeah, you find Magic Studio when you highlight an element. Go to Magic Studio, then I'll go to Magic Eraser, and I can increase my brush size. Sorry about that. Increase my brush size to around 50, let's say 50. Then I brush around the ones I do not want that are so close to the one I want. Okay, so let's not waste too much time since we've already highlighted the ones we don't want, the edges that are close by. So let's wait. Okay, now it's done. So it's much more easier now for you to actually walk around those edges. So you can easily take out the side. But before I completely take out all the sides, let me duplicate this because I'm going to be using one of these ones that are still there as well. So I'm going to take out this side from here. You see how easy it is now for me to take out the unwanted parts because I've already erased them. So now I want to rotate this particular one. I think this one is a little bit different from the one we initially used. Oh yeah, it's a little bit different, but there's no harm in trying new things, right? So click, increase like so, then drop it here. I think we should still rotate it a bit. Okay, drop it here. Drop it there. Then still take out some of this edge. Exactly, it's okay. Then go over to position. Take it backward, so it falls under, yeah, that place. And it's okay like that. So the next thing you want to actually do is the other one. Sorry. Next thing you want to actually do is this one. So you take out the edges from this one like so. Drag this other part. Drag this one down. Then push it up. I want it to be like it's under that gradient glow that is coming from the top. So just leave it there. Then go over to your position. Click backward. Now I see the glow has projected on top of it. Okay, so that's that about that. So the next element we want to bring in, let me just add those contact icons, and from there we'll start adding the text before we add the gift card. So reduce this one like so, place it here in the middle of this box, then go over to the Instagram, click the Instagram, drag it in here, reduce the size like so. So in order for you to get the definite size of these two as well, you can just scale down rather, then make sure that this Instagram is at the center, same center with the WhatsApp. Then drag the edges. Once you see the edge touches down one, it means that it has gained the same proportion with the top. Then drag from the under. Once it touches it like this, it means it has gained the same proportion. So you can now zoom out and click on your element, then drag to your desired position. Exactly. Okay. So the next thing I want to add now, let's add I think what do you call it now? The logo is not here. So let's see why our logo is not here. I think we need to refresh this page. Pardon, I'll refresh the page now. I'll come back in a bit. Okay, so it turned out we needed to refresh the page for all the elements to come out together again. Canva can be like that sometimes, but don't get frustrated. Even every other software have their own lapses. So let's just continue. The next thing I want to do now is add this QR code. Let me add the things that are not so close to the letters, or the words rather, so that we know we are done with that one. So the QR code is there. Still need to increase it just a bit. We don't want it to be so faint. Sorry about that. So that in case someone wants to scan it, they can easily see it. And we don't want it to overshadow the design too as well. Okay, so just leave that there. And there was a border around that stuff. If you look at it from here, there was a border around it. Now let me show you how you can achieve that. So you go over to your elements, wait for it to load up. And while it's loaded up, just look for shapes, the square shape here right now. Just look for the square shape here right now. That stuff was actually a gradient. I've showed you how to do gradient border lines before, and even gradient shapes too as well. The border lines, from the shapes to the border lines. So this one should not be hard for you to do. So once you click on this right now, in order to get just the outline, because if you look at this one now, it looks as if it's just the frame. It looks as if it's just the frame. There's no solid color like in the center of it. So you get the white is in the center, while the color, the gradient frame, just covers the QR code round. So to achieve that, you have to click this, go over to color, and change the color to transparent. Yeah, and once you've changed it to transparent, click on cancel. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, we are still able to select it. Sometimes you're not able to select it. So if you're able to select it like so, go over to style, increase the border weight to, like, let's say 10. Yeah, increase the border weight to 10. Then go over to border color now. Is border color you now enter, not normal color. You now enter border color. So this is what you'll be working with in order to achieve that frame around it. So once you've opened border color, go over to this is the gradients we're going to be using for that. Where's our gradient? Yeah, this is the gradients we're going to be using for that. So having taught you gradient, I'm just going to show you the hex code for each of the gradients. So this particular one is 5305A9. The first one, 5305A9. And for the second one, I believe you know why I clicked outside canvas. And for the second one is 780DEF. 780DEF. That's it. So you scale this down. Exactly. Then you take this up here. Zoom in for a better view. Then try to make sure that the edges match one another. So still increase this one to the side just a bit. So now let's try to nudge that to find balance within all the sides. That's the middle, and that's the center. Exactly. So we can now scale out. Beautiful, beautiful work done, guys. So the next thing we want to do now, let's begin to add the text. So if you want to add the text, before we add the remainder of the elements there, if you want to add the text, see text here, just click on text. We're going to add the headline text. So you can just click on add a text from this text box here, but I love clicking add a heading. So I'll click on add a heading here, and what I want to write is hit. Then I want to click the enter key and type me. Hit me. Correct. But this is not the font we actually used. The font we use, let me show you. When you highlight a typed word, it will now bring out this bar for you where you can actually choose fonts, the text styles and font size and all that and all that. So you click on the font here. The name of the font we use was Bangas. So Bangas is free. If you want to quickly look for it, just type Bangas here in the search bar and it will automatically bring out bangers for you. Bangers is free, so click on bangers. But there's something you have to notice, that the line spacing between heat and me is too much. So we want to change that. So you go over to spacing here. Having gone to spacing, reduce the line spacing, let's say to minus 0.84. Yeah, minus 0.84 is okay. It's cool. Then increase this one size. Increase the size. I'm going to increase the size to the proportion of which it best suits this design. Okay, so this size is okay. So I want to push it a bit to this side. Yeah, and that's cool. I'll still reduce it just a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. You can use nudge to correct the other ones, like nudge it to this side a bit. Okay, that's cool. So let me check the font size so that you can actually do exactly what I did. So this is 420. I think 420 is too much. Let's go with something like 380. Yeah, 380 is perfect. Yeah, so the font size for that is 380. And you want to duplicate this and keep it here. Then edit this and write, oh yeah. You know the slogan is, oh yeah, hits me. So write, oh yeah, there. And you want to reduce this font size. Let's see what we can reduce it to now. That will perfectly fit what we want to do. So let's say 90.7. Too small. Let's say not 9,200, please. Let's say 200. Okay. Let's say 250. We don't want the proportion to be too far from hit me. So what you have to do now is hold down. In case you don't know how I'm rotating, look at there's a rotating icon here when you highlight a stop. So just hold it down and rotate it like so. Make sure it's at minus 90 degree. Then keep it here. Cool. Cool. We're making progress. So um the next thing you want to bring in is the second text. Let's duplicate this hits me. The second text that said for bulk and the one that said deals. And we'll still bring in crypto and gift card. But let me just write those ones and keep them aside. So hits now we want to write for bulk, and the next one is gonna be deals. So for bulk, keep that aside, just click on it. I don't want to refer so much to the previous design so it doesn't look too boring for us. So let's still crack our head too as if we are making a new design. Sure you get. So this one now we're gonna write deals. Exactly. We're gonna write deals. Cool. And after you've written deals now, we want to change the font because the font are not actually same. So I want to change the font now to, let's go over here to check what we're changing it to. Oh, if you want to click, you can just click that arrow out and it will take you out of where you were. So the font that was actually used is a font I love so much called Holiday. I just fell in love with the font a while ago. I love the font though. It's been a while. So deals. And that's the same thing we're going to change this one to. So after, if you highlight this one now to show it on holiday. So if you want to easily change another one, no need going back and forth. Just click on the one you want to change, then click on holiday, and voila, changes it for you. So for bulk, I think I like this small later. For bulk, let's see how D is going to do on this one. For bulk, No, little D for bulk deals. Okay. I think I'm liking this. So let's add a new vibe to this particular one for bulk deals. And you wanna keep that here. Exactly. So let's add the other things now that spiced up this particular design. Before we complete the contact info, we'll do the contact info last and something that is attached to the logo too as well. So when click on this hit me, instead of going to go and click on text again to add another text, just click on hit me and you want to change the font to Montserrat. Montserrat is the brand font. Montserrat is the brand font. So anything you are doing here has to be Montserrat. So you have to change it to Montserrat. Montserrat. And not just Montserrat. For this particular one, it has to be Montserrat bold. Exactly. So Montserrat bold, you have to adjust the sides. Okay, I think we forgot that we used enter for this one. So click delete the space, then okay, then add your own space. Okay, but it's not hit me. We want to write. We want to write crypto and gift card, and just keep them aside. I want to be done with all the text now. So select all, write crypto. Don't mind if you are saying it or not, so long you know what you are typing. Crypto. So you click on crypto now. Just keep it there for me. Duplicate another one. Edit this. Then write gift cards. So click on this. On the gift cards now. Click on the gift cards now. Then drag out the edges. Not change the position, the edges. Exactly like so. Yeah. So the next thing you want to do now is to add where they are going to balance on. So I'm taking my time to actually stress on this particular design so that you can actually have basic, like an in-depth basic knowledge of how to go about things on Canva. So it doesn't look as though I just came out and gave you some design and we're just designing and you don't really understand what was actually happening. So that's why I'm taking my time. So you need to watch this till the very end. Take your time to watch this and try to implement it. So under Oya, there was a rectangle that matched with heat on top and matched with me under. So let's match that. You can use your eye here for that perspective, or you can decide to go bring in a line from, what do you call it now, from the elements. But I rather use my eye. Bringing in a line will take so much time, so you can just use your nudge to use your eye to, and use your eye rather, to know where it actually is aligned. Okay, right now my eye tells me it's aligned, then drag this one to here, to where it's actually aligned. Oh, we just missed that. Calm down a bit, please. Okay. I think we'll need to do some nudging. So let's nudge this down. Then we can now drag from here up. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I want. So this Oya, we'll bring it here. I think Oya needs to still go down just a bit. So let's leave Oya there. Okay. And change the color of Oya to white. Correct. So now everything is coming into play. I think I'm liking this color combo now. let's see if we can just go with one color combo rather than all the colors we used before now. So I want to change heat. I don't want heat to be same with I want heat to have the same color as the background of Oya. So what I can do is click on heat, go to color. Now if I want to edit a specific word or even just a specific letter, what I can do is highlight it like so. Like when you click on it as if you want to type, you double click on that particular place, or you can highlight one particular word, one particular letter rather. You can highlight one particular letter or one word, just like so. You can highlight one particular letter or you can highlight one word, okay? Then you scroll on this particular place. Oh, sorry about that. So it's actually hit, not bit. Hit, sorry. Okay, so when you check here on this panel, you see if you let me just show you better. If you scroll here, you see that once you highlight something, you can change the size of that particular one. You can change the text styles. You can change its alignment. You can also change the case, if it's uppercase or lowercase. You can change everything. You can change the color. So this is where we want. Click on this to change the color. So we're going to change it to the one that has Oya. So let's see. No, this is the one for Oya. So the hex code for this particular one and for the box under Oya, so that you don't miss out. So this is the hex code AE22C6. AE22C6. Okay, so in case you missed it, because I didn't say it initially. So hit me. So and me, we want to change me now to a darker shade of that purple. So you can click on A with the, what do you call it now? The color bar under, and use this one. Let's use something lighter that is close related. This one. Okay, so let's check the hex code for that. That's 7C2AE8. 7C2AE8. Exactly. So let's click outside of the canvas. Okay, yeah, this is good. Now, I love this stuff as it is now like this, but I want the hit me to have something still good about it. I don't like the way it's just normal and flat. So I don't want it to be flat. I can go to effects. You can use my settings. This is the settings I use for all my texts. Say I want to give them this 3D pop-out feel. So you can use my settings. So this is what I use. Offset 70. Direction is gonna be set at 0. Then the blur is going to be at 60 and the transparency is going to be at 10, and the color every time is black. Yeah, so you see that there is something happening there now. There's something happening there now. There is something happening there. If you look at it closely with your inner eye, I'm just joking, but there is something happening there now. There's something happening there. Okay, so Oya is there, and hit me is settled now. So let's actually do something. Let's duplicate this. Then we want to make crypto and gift card the highlight of this particular design. I know one way we can achieve that is by creating an offset with the color we are going to use. So we're going to create an offset with this color now. So let's take this walk up. This is how to shift attention to a particular space where you want people to see it. That's how to shift attention. Let me show you how. So increase this so that it aligns with here, the T. Most especially, I believe you can see that. And check out this one if it aligns with the edge of this one. I hope you can see that too as well. Okay, so take this up a bit. Now we want to duplicate this. Duplicate, and bring it down like so. Let it fit the other one exactly. And these deals has to come down a bit. I believe we are going to adjust all these things up a bit, because when we bring in our gift card, there may be little or no space for it to stay. So these deals now is not aligned to the center. So let's align it to the center. This is the center of the box. This is the center of the box. So it's aligned now. Let's check bulk. And this is the center of the box. So it's aligned now. So always check for alignment whenever you are designing. Do not forget alignments. Okay, it helps make your design, the layout and everything, helps make it look very clean. All right, so with that said and done, now let's create the offset. The offset is that we're going to change this color, and this is what we're going to change the color to, the color of that box. This is what we're going to change it to. We're going to change it to this shade of red. Oh, sorry, I think we clicked on color for text. Yeah, see, sometimes if you click color for text, you'll be shocked, like, why is the color of the rectangle or the element not changing? But always check. It might have been that you clicked color for text rather than color for the element. So this is color for the element. So click here, and you want to now change it to this one. Let's create a very nice offset, something sharp. Yeah, this one is cool. And this is the hex code for it, D7235A. And this one too is going to take the same one, which should be this or this rather. Okay, yeah, this rather. And the hex code once again is D7235A. And now our brothers, which we left here for a while, let's now bring them into play. So you see it has fallen behind the rectangle now. So all you can do, just do to front and it comes up. Same with the gift card. All you can just do to front and it comes up. Then we want to reduce this so that it fits the middle of the square, so it doesn't look disorganized. Yeah, I see some people, they will just increase their words and it's touching the edges of the box. It's not really nice. It doesn't give the design breathability and beauty. Okay, so let's reduce this one too as well. And let me tell you the size for this one. I told you the size for the other ones. I didn't give you the size for bulk and deals. Let me give you the size for that. Let's see if these are the center first of all. Yes, at the center now. Now what we want to do is change this to white. You see, now we are already doing something way different from what we did at first. So click this and click this. Maybe we'll do comparison. Which one actually beats the other? So for gift cards, the font size is 106, and for crypto, the font size is 93.4, and for bulk, the font size is 119, and for deals, the font size is 157. Okay, so that is that about that. So one more thing I want to add, duplicate this, take this over here and change the color to that dark shade of purple. Let's see, is that it? Is this it? No, this is it exactly. And after you've done that, go over to edit and change this thing to Dios, no, with a small letter, Dios. Click your enter key, hub, correct, and go over to your alignment here. Select all of them. If you select one, it's just going to align just one to that area. Then click here, it aligns both of them, correct? Wait, let's see something. Yeah, it aligned both of them. That one was at the center. That one was center alignment before. I don't really want that. So let's check this now. Let's check the font size. There was a font size I used before. Let's see if it's going to work for this one now, because I don't want it to be so big. see some people putting their text behind the logo so big and it looks bigger than even the logo itself. It's not right. Let's try 90.7. Okay, that's still too big. Let's try 60. Yep. I think 60 does it for me. Very cool, very correct, very accurate. Beautiful. So 60 does it for me. Take this down. Don't forget, this font is Montserrat bold, and we'll just be using Montserrat bold, Montserrat bold, Montserrat bold all through. Okay? So do not forget that. So duplicate this, bring it over here, then drag the edges like so, not so much, so that when you want to return this hub back to where it's originally supposed to be, it won't have you to start dragging the edges again. So see, we still have to drag the edges now. So what we can do in order to attain that straight line of words is by actually go back, click on this now, then drag. You can now drag. Oh, let's go back. Click on this, then drag. Most times it's hard to select all these little things. If you don't scale down, they won't get selected. Okay, exactly. So let's leave it at that. But something, the Dios Hub, the Instagram name is not just plain Dios Hub like this. So it has an underscore. So let's not forget that. So that we can actually do everything in the right manner and not try to skip any process. We can only try to make it more beautiful, but not neglect any detail. Please never neglect details in design. Okay, so let's go to color. In order for this to be visible, you see now that this darker shade on top, this darker shade doesn't really make sense and nobody's going to see it properly. But check this out. Hope you are seeing it properly now. Yeah, that's just it. That's the beauty of using light shades over dark shades. So I'm not going to waste my time with the phone number and start typing 234 blah 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 blah. I'm just going to go here. One thing you can actually do is go to more, then click on copy. This is how you copy from one page to another. Click on copy, then go over to the page of which you want to paste it, then go to more and click on paste. And I see it pastes in place the phone number. So did I just say it pastes in place? Oh my god, it pasted in place the phone number. Sorry about that. I just listened to myself all over again. Okay, so click on this, take this up. Let me check the font size of this for you, so someone doesn't say I didn't give the font size of this one. So the font size of this was actually 52.5. Yeah, 52.5. I think Dio's Hub still needs to calm down a bit. Should be coming down. Don't want you to overshadow the other ones. So let's check the size of this particular one because we've changed it from the previous one, 53.5. I think the same with the other one, Seth. So click on this now. Let's nudge it. So nudge it up a bit so it stays in middle. Exactly. Correct. Voila, we are almost there. Just one, two little things to do again. So let's change this color, the color of this stuff, so it doesn't look too contrasting from what we are trying to do. So change it to something dark. No, not this. It's gonna be too much. Change it to this. Exactly. Then change this one also to this. Or should we change it to this? Then change this one also. Change it also to the one I just did now, which is this one. So let's check the hex code for that. So we know we're right on track. Okay, it's the AE22C6. Exactly. So let's add some effect to this with regards to shadows so that it can actually pop out of the background. So you go back to your shadow here, then you make this 70. This one should be 0. The blur, as usual, 60. Transparency for me is always 10. And the color is always black. Cool. Now it's popping out of the background. Same thing for this one. Go over to your effects. Now you should know how to do shadow. Add shadow rather. This one should be 70. This one should be 0. This one should be 60. And this one should be 10. And the color should be black. Correct, correct, correct. Beautiful, beautifully done. But one more thing to do. Click on this. I think our stuff is down below too much. So you can zoom in to get a better view of what you're clicking. So click each and every one of them. Take note, I clicked select multiple before I started selecting all these things. So help me to select everything I'm actually tapping on right now. And when I want to move them, or if possibly I want to group them, it will be easy for me. So you see, now watch what's going to happen. So having selected all of them, I can click on nudge now. And when I nudge it, you see, everything is going with me to where I want it to be. So let's nudge it, nudge, 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 so that we'll have space for our gift card. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Beauty of design is also in breathability. Allow the design breathe. Let the design breathe. Okay? So before we add the last element, let's go add the gift card. So where's our gift card now? Yeah, this is where it is. So drag in the gift card and bring it here and bring it under here. I think our guys still need to go up a bit. Guys, don't stress us now, please. So select multiple, click here, click this one. Sorry. Click here, click here, click, click, click. Okay. I think you want us to give it special click, and we're giving it special click. Oh, we are forgetting oh yeah now. All right. So having clicked all of them like that, just go back to nudge it up. Let's see if we can touch the tip of Samuel Perry's hat, and let's make that our alignment point. Alignment point. Okay, yeah. We are good to go. Anything further than that is already making the design look awkward. Okay, so you can now boost this guy up, punch him up, punch him, punch him, punch him, punch him up, punch him up. And there's something to note from the previous design. This gift card had a realistic look to it. So I wanted it to look like something was hovering. I wanted it to look like the gift card was hovering. You know how stuff hovers. Okay, so in order to achieve that, what you can do to add realism to this is to use the shadow. And this was the shadow I actually used. So drag it in here. As it is now, it's too much in terms of size. So drag it down and bring it here. Bring it here. You see now, let me nudge this to the center of where the gift card actually are. Now you see this. It looks as though the gift card is casting a shadow on the floor and it's hovering over something. So you grab. So that's what I was trying to achieve. And for the final thing, let's go over to our elements. I'll show you what we want to add. What you need to do now is bring in a square. We're going to use the knowledge of which we have before to achieve this particular one. Let me show you what we want to do. Let me show you. So this is it. If you take a very close look at this design, you see that there are some lines on top of crypto, gift card, and even Oya. So in order to achieve that, what you can do, remember what we said about gradient. So go over to this one, click on it, just go over to color, then from solid color, go over to gradient, then this one, change it to completely white. Change it to completely white and reduce the transparency like so. Oh, no, not this one. Increase the transparency. The second and the third one, we're going to reduce the transparency. So click outside of the canvas, click on your, this gradient is actually nice. Click on your element again. Now click on this one. This is the one you're going to reduce so well. This is so well. And don't forget to take this slider on that color bar now. Don't forget to take it to the white side of it. So go back again, click on same thing, go to color, click on the plus of this one again, then choose this one. Having chosen that one, click on the plus and it adds another transparent gradient again. So what you can now do is bring this down. Now drag this one down like this and place it here. Let's make sure it fits to the both edge. So place it here and place this one here. So you can see now that it's actually too much whilst looking at it like this. So yeah, make it to be at the center. But apart from that, let's look at this. It's actually too much and it's distorting what we are actually seeing from the gift card. So how we can actually correct that? I think gift card is even on top of it and it's not supposed to be so. It is not supposed to be so. So click on this, then click on position of the gift card, take it backward. Let's see. Yeah, so it's behind now. And you will now have to go over to transparency and bump down this transparency to, let's say, 20. Let's see what 20 has for us. Okay, 20 looks cool. It was actually way lighter on the previous one because that one was a darker background. So let's see, crypto, exactly. So this was how that effect was actually achieved. Then click on this one again, take it over here. Now what you want to do is rotate this. Here's our rotation button. It came out just now. What's happening? Thank you. Rotate it to minus 90 degrees. And now you see it's actually coming out much more better because this one is darker than the other one. So you may not necessarily drag the edges of this one. You can actually leave it like so. But there you have it. This is how this design was actually made. So tell me, this one or this one? Which one do you actually prefer? Well, I prefer both. I don't know which one you prefer. So I actually encourage you with this last minutes that you should actually pay attention and be attentive. Be attentive and not just attentive, be active too as well. If you really want to make something out of this, trust me, if you really want to make something out of this, you need to be attentive and be active too as well. So, for now, this is goodbye from me, and I'm going to see you in class tomorrow. Get prepared. We're going to be doing something extraordinary. All right, bye for now. And please do not forget to submit your assignments on or before 9 p.m. tomorrow. On or before 9 p.m. tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye.